Peter has asked how to ask for the product demo from a customer development perspective. So you're not quite ready to sell, but you've got some sort of product or prototype. How do you start getting feedback on it? How do you ask for this question without introducing too many biases? There's a few different angles to this. One, the guiding truth, like the ultimate truth, is going to be what they give you or don't give you at the end of the conversation. So at the end of any product demo, you need to ask for some sort of commitment. Time, reputation, money. It can be small. You don't need to be pushy. If they gladly jump on the opportunity to get more involved, then you can tell that they really care. That you're onto something. If they don't, something's not quite right. It's not going to tell you what's wrong, but it tells you haven't nailed it yet. So you need to keep working. However, in terms of the demo itself, there's still some ways that you can make it better or worse. So in general, as a rule of thumb, the more high and mighty you are, the more polished, the more perfect, the worse the feedback you're going to get will be. So if you come in, I'm amazing, this product's amazing, I'm a visionary, you're going to get lied to. Because people go, oh yeah, it's really great. If you show that you've suffered, if you show that you're emotionally vulnerable, you're going to get lied to more. If you go, oh man, I quit my job, I've risked everything, I spent $100,000. These are the sorts of stories that do well on Shark Tank and Dragon's Den because they're so pathetic and people want to rally behind them. But for that same reason, it causes people to support you, which covers up the feedback you're getting. So if you want honest feedback and you want negative feedback because you're still trying to make this thing work and make it better, the last thing you want to do is appear emotionally vulnerable. So it's much better to come in and be like, hey, yeah, this is what we're working on. We're changing a lot. We just spent a couple weeks on this. It's not a big deal, but I'd love to get your thoughts. It's super rough. I know it's broken. The more you can come in showing that you don't really care about this particular version of the product, the more able you will be to receive that useful negative feedback. In terms of framing, almost every meeting, people when they receive meetings, they're used to being sold stuff. So almost every meeting becomes a sales meeting by default. So if you want it to be a learning meeting or just a demo meeting without a sales objective, you need to frame that initially and then you need to honor it. So what I would do is I would say at the beginning, hey, thank you so much for taking the time to look at this thing. I know you're busy. I know your time's valuable. I super appreciate it. You're this incredible expert. We don't have anything to sell you. We're not ready yet. It's not going to be ready for a few months still. But I would love so much. We're still developing this. We're still trying to figure out what exactly it is. I would love so much if you would just take a look at what we're building and let me know where you think this fits into your day or where it doesn't, where we're going wrong, where you think it's useful, how you see it fitting in with the other options that you've got, because I know there's plenty. The more you can show people that hey, I'm not trying to sell you something, because everyone assumes at the end of the meeting you're going to try to sell them. And so that makes their shields and their defensiveness go up. So you need to bring those shields down if you want to have a frank conversation. And I don't know, maybe there's other styles for this, but I've personally found it very useful to humble myself. So I put my nose on the ground and I put them on a pedestal. I'm so fucking stupid and you're this incredible expert and you could save my life by giving me some of your expertise. And I mean it. I'm not taking the piss, because in that moment, it is years of my life for minutes of their time, because they've got this hard-won expertise already. And if I can make them feel that it's worthwhile to share their expertise with me, it honestly is going to save me years. So it's an authentic humbling. I'm not doing it to take the piss. But that's the attitude I always go into these early conversations with. It's they're on the pedestal, I'm on the dirt. And it's my product sucks and I know it and it's a piece of shit and I'm ready to throw it away at any minute. And with that, and I don't necessarily believe that, but that's because obviously I wouldn't be working on the product if I wasn't excited about it. But that's the message that I try to show. And it's quite a delicate balancing act because if you're too self-deprecating, people stop believing in you. So, you'll have to make your own call on that. But I will say that most people err too far in the direction of being overconfident. They're we're incredible, we're visionaries. The moment you call yourself a visionary or even think of yourself as a visionary, you are no longer getting feedback. So at that point, your result is binary. You're either Elon Musk or you're bankrupt. You're not getting feedback. It's really difficult to like get the feedback that you need to improve when you believe yourself to be a visionary. So my personal view and where I found the most helpful feedback is where I go in very humbly. And I believe in the vision, but not necessarily the product. So I'm like, look, I know this is a shitty thing about the world, and I really care about fixing it. I'm not sure I'm fixing it in the right way. Like, can you share me some of your expertise? Can you look at this thing and like help me kick this ball of dirt in the right direction so that I can polish it up a bit and make it a little bit better? And so much of with the product demo, and again, like I said at the beginning, like the binary answer is like you're either going to get the commitment or you're not. And that's the truth. And like, no matter how badly you screw up your product demo, like that final truth, you either get the commitment or you don't, that's enough. But you can optimize it by going in, at least in terms of my style and in terms of what I found, you can optimize it by going in also with this humility and this authenticity where you're like, look, I really care and I'm really working on this and it's fucking hard. Like, help me out. And once people realize that your ego's not on the table, and that it's you and them. It's not them versus you. It's you and them together against the problem. Like, how do we make the right product? It can unlock a lot of useful feedback, which otherwise takes a ton of trial and error. So those are my general thoughts. You don't need to do all of them. This isn't a place where I feel like it's do or die. Like product demos, like at the end of the demo, they either give you the commitment or they don't. So like that's what matters. The rest of the stuff is like, it's a pretty minor optimization. It's like a 25% optimization, but you know, if it can save you some time, hopefully that's helpful. If you've got questions about mom test, custom, whatever, shoot them to Rob Fitz or rob@robfitz.com and I'll try to get back to you if I can. Thank you.